Edgar's situation, we all know that he played 7 years in the NFL. Edgar his gift was not football. It was not sports. He wasn't very good at any of that early on. Now his gift was working hard, being determined. It was determination and hard work. That was his gift. And through that gift, he got better and better at a craft, but his actual gift was hard work. And he was able to become extremely focused on it. Right? We talked about he would ride his bike from Branch Crossing. Everybody from Rayville will know where that is, to K-Buck, to my dad's property. Right? That's about I don't know, was 5-6 miles maybe.
Yeah.
Rave ain't big, about a 5-6 mile trek on his bike. We'd all be out playing basketball and stuff. He'd speak to us. My dad had an old tractor tire out in the middle of the hayfield. He passed by us, he'd go out there and he'd flip that tractor tire back and forth, up and down our biggest pasture, right? This was when he was in, this would have been some of his junior year, so going into his senior year, right? He flipped that tire. He had the strength shoes. A lot of you guys who come from that East Bay area, you remember the strength shoes that they used to say. He had those strength shoes, a weighted vest, and a parachute. He'd ride his bike with the weighted vest on from Branch Crossing to where we were, flip that tire with the weighted vest, holler at us on the way out, ride his bike back home, right? He'd get off work, 8-9 o'clock. You'd see him go to the field house with those strength shoes and that parachute and weighted vest, and he'd be running sprints. We didn't understand it, but he had already focused in his mind that he was going to the NFL. He knew the only way he was going to get there was by working his butt off. Gave himself no other options, right? There's an African proverb that says, a hunter who only has one arrow does not aim carelessly, right? All he has is one arrow. He's not just going to be out here just shooting any kind of way, right? He's going to become extremely focused on whatever his target is, because he's got to hit that target with that one arrow, and he's got to bring that food back home to his family, right?
Welcome to the Eat Cypher. Flow harder than the hands on Peter Piper. And now we would like to introduce you to your rivals. It's like Ali and Tyson. The hook miss with the liking. Show nothing, Mr. Bison. Maximus and Leonidas. You were in the booth with Titans. Goons, goblins, and Vikings. It ain't really nothing like us.
What up, what up, what up, what up? We back at it again for another episode of the L.I.T Code. I'm Edgar Jones.
I'm Courtney Anderson.
We back at it, man. Back at it again. Hey, man, thank y'all, as always. You never can. There's always a time to let people know how thankful you are for them. Right now, we're letting you know how thankful we are for y'all just supporting us and spreading that word. Courtney has been sharing with me some testimonies of some people that's been reaching out to him. Just been, just saying how much the L.I.T Code has had a huge impact in their life. So thank y'all. Salute y'all all the way from Texas. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all as always. We ask that you continue to support, continue to share, continue to like. And no matter if you do or don't, we'll continue to be here recording, sharing our message, because that's our duty right now. That's our purpose. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So we won't hesitate to keep pushing it, to keep going. We had a goal in mind with this, and it actually took off better than we had a goal in mind, but we didn't have any expectation, right, Edgar? We didn't say like, well, we're gonna put out our first episode and 2 million people gonna watch it, or one person gonna watch it, or whatever. We just said, hey man, I think somebody needs to hear this.
Right.
We hit that goal every single time we put something out, because whether it's 1 or it's 10,000, somebody hears it, somebody's impacted. Whether it's something we say early on, or if it's something we say, an hour in, something we finish with, whether it's a 2-minute clip that they watch, or it's the whole hour, 20 minutes, or whatever. As long as we're impacting people, we still achieving our goal. So we want to thank y'all for helping us achieve that goal. Because without people watching it, I mean, we just talking. We can just do this on the phone, right? And since I'm saying that, this is literally like, this is literally how we talk to each other anyway on the phone. We bounce off each other. We let each other talk. We listen. We take it in. We fire back off. The way I'm sitting here, I always sit here with a notebook in front of me, right? If we're on the phone together, I'm always in my earpiece. One of us says something, the other one writes it down, or we write our own stuff down, or type it to ourselves, text it to ourselves, right? And it's just content for us to get the people through truck talk or breakfast, or through the L.I.T Code itself. But we're always constantly doing that. All the stuff I just said is gonna wrap back into today's episode. But Edgar kind of brought something to me yesterday while I was in the gym, something that I often meditate on, and I'll kick it back to him to let him kind of roll it out, and then we'll do what we do. But thank y'all from me as well. We appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoy.
What exactly was it I brought up to you? Because I bring up a lot of shit. Yeah, remind me of what I brought up to you, because
I'll roll it out. So it's about that one thing, right? That one thing.
Oh yeah,
that the universe gives us, that we're good at, that we're naturally kind of blessed with. Edgar, I know Edgar has a young son, and he has an older daughter. Once you're spending a certain amount of time around your children, you can kind of see what they're going to be good at, or what their personality traits are going to be, what they're naturally going to be able to do as far as dealing, if it's dealing with people, if they have a certain kind of it factor, if it's just scholastic smart, they pick up on anything, whatever it is, you can kind of see that they have that gift, right? In Edgar's situation, we all know that he played 7 years in the NFL. Edgar his gift was not football. It was not sports. He wasn't very good at any of that early on. Now his gift was working hard, being determined. It was determination and hard work. That was his gift. And through that gift, he got better and better at a craft, but his actual gift was hard work. And he was able to become extremely focused on it. Right? We talked about he would ride his bike from Branch Crossing. Everybody from Rayville will know where that is, to K-Buck, to my dad's property, right? That's about I don't know, was 5-6 miles maybe. Rave ain't big, about a 5-6 mile trek on his bike. We'd all be out playing basketball and stuff. He'd speak to us. My dad had an old tractor tire out in the middle of the hayfield. He passed by us, he'd go out there and he'd flip that tractor tire back and forth, up and down our biggest pasture, right? This was when he was in, this would have been some of his junior year, so going into his senior year, right? He flipped that tire. He had the strength shoes. A lot of you guys who come from that East Bay area, you remember the strength shoes that they used to say. He had those strength shoes, a weighted vest, and a parachute. He'd ride his bike with the weighted vest on from Branch Crossing to where we were, flip that tire with the weighted vest, holler at us on the way out, ride his bike back home, right? He'd get off work, 8-9 o'clock. You'd see him go to the field house with those strength shoes and that parachute and weighted vest, and he'd be running sprints. We didn't understand it, but he had already focused in his mind that he was going to the NFL. He knew the only way he was going to get there was by working his butt off. Gave himself no other options, right? There's an African proverb that says, a hunter who only has one arrow does not aim carelessly, right? All he has is one arrow. He's not just going to be out here just shooting any kind of way, right? He's going to become extremely focused on whatever his target is, because he's got to hit that target with that one arrow and he's got to bring that food back home to his family, right? Edgar was able to focus in on that. A lot of people in the world, this is what separates most people from others, are the extremely successful, the people who do things that most people don't do. Those people that are in a certain percentile, it's usually their ability to focus in on that one thing and give themselves no other option. That's the only option I got, is to focus in on this and to get it done. The career path I'm in now, I had a similar journey. I left a very, very comfortable job to jump into this. I left it spur of the moment. It wasn't a notice. I left my family and went hours away, right? And I didn't have no other option. I made it to where it's the only option I had, and everything I did was focused towards perfecting that craft, right? So a trick that I've learned now, right? Because we figured out that another one of our purposes is speaking, words, encouraging people, inspiring others. That's why we're doing the L.I.T Code. That's why I do breakfast. Edgar does truck talk, does speaking engagements here and there. And now we write it down. We write down a lot of stuff. I mentioned that earlier. We say something, we write it down, right? Reason being, if you, I heard a story about Michael Johnson. Again, we ate his baby. So if y'all remember, Michael Johnson in the 90s was like the fastest man on earth. He's Olympian. And some of his peers talk about when they were in wherever the games were, when they were working out. Michael Johnson always came in and he already had this workout plan written down. He had his time written down, he was gonna make it. His time written down, what kind of warm-up stretches he was gonna do, all that stuff, what workout he was gonna do. He had it all written down. And they asked him, like, Mike, why you write everything down? Like, you never just come in and freestyle. And Mike said whenever he goes to the grocery store, he watched his mother coming up. Whenever they were going to the grocery store with a list, they were in and out in 10 minutes, right? They had everything written down. They knew exactly what they were going to get. They go straight to it. They get it in and out. But whenever he didn't have a list and he went in, right, to that grocery store, where you end up on aisle 7 looking at this, you look at this and that because you're getting distracted, right? You got all this stuff going on, all this stuff on these shelves, all this stuff in these aisles. Now I'm all over the place. I'm grabbing stuff I didn't come in here for. And before you know it, you're in that aisle, right? And then when you leave, you always end up forgetting something that you really went in there for. You didn't write it down. Writing stuff down actually makes us focus in, right? All this stuff for our Christian listeners, it's in the Bible as well, right? Writing it down on the scrolls, making it plain. A man's gift, making room for him. It's all the same stuff, right? It's the same concept. So what we want to talk to y'all about today is actually finding what that is. Actually, and most of us know what it is, right? We've been fighting it though. Our spirit, we're in a place now we're uncomfortable. Not necessarily uncomfortable. We're upset and disappointed because we're trying to do so many other things other than what we were called here to do, other than what our purpose is, what our spirit wants to do. How old is Nova now?
2.
When Nova was, even when he was just a small baby, when he was 4 or 5 months, right? And y'all start swallowing him during the swaddle, right? So when you wrap him up in this blanket, his arms are down by his side, his legs are straight out, and this blanket is kind of used to keep him stuck in a certain position. Most babies hate to be swaddled, right? They trying to get this arm out, let me get this leg up, and you'll come back and they got an arm out somehow, and they just trying to get out of it because they're uncomfortable because you're holding them down. That's the same thing happening with your spirit when you're basically swallowing it from what it wants to do, right? This is what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I'm not doing it because most of the time, one, we're afraid, right, to actually do it. mainly because we're afraid of people. We're afraid of what they may say, what they may think of us when we're trying to move on our purpose. Not everybody likes or gives good reviews to the L.I.T Code. Not everybody sitting here listening to us saying, oh yeah, man, I can feel what those boys saying. Some people saying, man, what they know. I know they people. They had it all right. You know what I'm saying? They ain't this and that. They think they better than people. They this, they that, whatever. Everybody's not on the same page. But we're not afraid of that. We're moving with it anyway. Because if we set on this, our spirit will become uneasy because it's being swallowed, right? So we want y'all to find that purpose, focus on it by writing it down. Basically, that'll help you focus on it. And start actually letting yourself be who you are, do what you were put here to do. And don't let nobody hold you back from it. Just go for it, man. Just find it, aim it carefully, fire away.
Golly, boy, you said a mouthful right there. Said a lot.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna digress and go back for a second, talking about me riding my bike out the K-Buck with a weighted vest on, and going out to your daddy's spot and flipping that tire and shit, riding back home. And probably stopped by the projects before I went back home. But that's another story. Hey, here's the thing about all that, man. I knew what I was doing. I was crazy. I knew folks looked at me and thought I was crazy. Here's the thing about it. It didn't affect me. You know, it didn't affect me hustling. It didn't affect me taking care of business. It didn't affect my mindset and me deciding what I wanted to do. Even though that shit was uncomfortable, a lot of times it was, quite frankly. That riding that bike out there, man, at 5.5 miles, flipping that tire, that vest on, walk around them strength shoes, you walking all funny, walking like a damn ostrich. You know what I'm saying? Feeling all crazy, looking crazy, folks looking at you crazy. But I knew that it was going to make me better. And I couldn't give you the full layout of what that was probably going to be. I had an idea on it, but I knew all those things were going to make me better. And I think as I have lived for a little bit now, most old folks look at us and say, y'all 30, I ain't live. Well, I think I had. I've from my experience, I done did some shit. I done seen some things and I did some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me personally, anytime I've been focused on something and I've gotten my energy to focus on what people thought about me, it's always taking me off course. It is always taking me off course and taking me further away from what I'm supposed to do, and what my goal is and what my objective is. And, you know, I think, I know I have definitely been paying attention to that a lot more lately, due to like my job I do now, because it's a different environment. I'm working in the corporate world, it's a different beast. It's something I've never done before. So the hustle is still the hustle though. It's just a different type of hustle. You're just hunting a different animal, that's pretty much what it is. And when you're hunting a different animal, there's different type of tactics you got to take and different weapons you may use, but the hunt is still the hunt. When I look at like us as individuals now, you got to be careful on how you feel, man. You got to be careful on how you feel. You got to be careful with growing with and operating in a place of I'm always going by feelings. Because the fact of the matter is, for everybody that's listening to this and taking this in, if we always went by how we felt, then yeah, I don't know. That flip side of that card wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be great at all. So because we in an impulsive, I can get things fast, I can get it when I want it. I can order something and get it in the blink of an eye. You say, man, I feel like I want this, or I feel like I need to go get this, or I feel good because I took this. Everything is now based off of feel. And the mind and feel are two different things. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was times I felt like not riding my damn bike out to that house. I felt like not staying out the practice or with the workout. I felt like I didn't want to go to 2 of their NFL practices. I felt like, dude, I'm getting tired and it's the third quarter. but my mind had to tell me something different. My mind was usually trying to tell me something different. And that's really where you get to that point of negotiating. Because rightfully so, your brain is in a state of fight and flight. And it's usually always trying to get you out of something or get you to go into it. But I try to be careful on how if I'm constantly basing my life off of I feel like I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna do this. Because honestly, because we're creatures of habit, you just setting a habit up for yourself, So if you always, like let's say you want to work out early in the morning and you don't feel like getting up because it's 40 degrees and the bed is warm, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get up. So I feel like I don't want to get up, so I'm not gonna get up. Well, you kind of start to create habits if you start to let that be just a routine. So but our topic and what we're talking about today, I don't know, man. I work ethic is something like you said, Court. I just add to this. Work ethic is something I always saw. Um, at the end of the day, what I do understand about my people is that they always work their butt off. You know what I'm saying? From my old man to my mama to my aunts, my uncles. Like that's just something, and that's just the growing up in our town. That's what you did. You just worked your butt off. Now, whatever extra skills that you had with it, uh, like your old man, right? He good at building stuff. He good at a lot of damn things, but he good at building stuff. You know what I'm saying? Working with his hands. My old man doing the cement pouring. Those are things they was talented at, but though they had to have the work ethic established. So for me, I was sitting in the garage Friday, man, and I was actually just finishing up working out, and I was sitting there thinking that through my faith, because there's been a lot of doors for me that's been open that I know probably was not supposed to be open. Um, but I also understand that with my faith, I also had to have work ethic too. You can't have faith without works. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's important. So for me, I sit back and I think like, man, the times I've busted my butt, it hadn't always worked out. You know what I'm saying? The times I busted my butt, it worked out. The times I busted my butt, damn, it didn't work out. The times I busted my butt, damn, it did, that door actually opened for me. It worked out. I'm saying that to say that the meat and potatoes and the eggs and the flour of the cake is the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the things that had to be established in order for any of these things truly to work out, was just the work ethic side of it. And it's interesting because when you look at restaurants, you look at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A wasn't known for making those salads. It was chicken tenders in the sandwich. That's what they were gonna put in that chicken. It wasn't no peach lemonade at the beginning. It was just a chicken sandwich and chicken strips. Same for a Whataburger or the Sonic. They were known for their burgers. That's what they were known for. Johnny Pizza, sweep the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? A pizza. That's what they was known for. Like that's when you go to Johnny Pizza, that's what Johnny Pizza is known for. The wings was just additional. You know what I'm saying? The Sonic, the damn the all the 600 different flavors of drinks they got, that was just additional. You know what I'm saying? Like the flurries, that was just additional. Their meat and potatoes was their burgers. The meat and potatoes was Johnny's Pizza, Chick-fil-A's chicken strips. So, and I think a lot of times we forget like what's our main thing that's been given to us, that talent that people will pay you to do. Like, and we live in a world now where like, man, you see people getting paid doing some of the smallest, simplest things, and they're working out of their gift, and they're putting themselves in a position where they're able to help their family and being able to help other people out. So I think that's another important part of life, man, being able to give and help people out and come into situations where it ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about helping other individuals out and seeing them thrive. But though, them working out of whatever their gift is. And I think a lot of times, man, um, we try to be people all the time. And I've said this before, all that happens with that is that you just you're going further and further away from yourself and who you were called and the gift that was given to you and who you were created to be. And that's just the message we want to get across to y'all today was just what can you put on your menu that you do well, man, and people will pay for, and to be able to open doors up for you, and then open doors up for you to be able to help other people out. And we all have it, man. And I think sometimes we downplay it, like, oh man, ain't nobody gonna pay me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to sit there and think like, man, nobody gonna pay me to come in there and come talk. Nobody gonna hear what I gotta say. But now I'm actually getting paid to talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the position I'm in now. Like, that's what people are asking me to do, is to speak and to talk. And for so long, I didn't realize there was something that was a gift for me, of being able to encourage people. I just didn't know that. I didn't think about it. And I'm thankful for that, you know. And I think a lot of times we downplay it because because of what we see, we expect everything is supposed to be to the degree of what we see. We think everything is supposed to be big, flashy, and it got to look this way. It has, you know, we kind of box ourselves in based off our thinking. And I think there's the importance of being thoughtful and careful about what you expose yourself to, and being able to really sit down with yourself, man, just say, hey, what is it I do well, and how can I perfect my craft at this? You know, hard work was something I understood. Football, I knew I was something that I was okay at. You know what I'm saying? I was decent enough. I could make some plays and stuff, but I knew if I could put all the energy into that, then I could give myself a great opportunity to go to another level, right? Like what I'm doing now in my profession. If I could just put all my energy into being a student of learning more and working on my speaking and engaging with people and having those conversations, being able to pour into people and speak life into people, some doors are opened up for it. It would, man. And, you know, just keep perfecting your craft, man. Perfect your craft so you can help people perfect your craft. And that's the other thing about it when you're helping people out, is that if you've never pushed yourself, if you've never tried to put yourself in a position where you've gotten uncomfortable and worked on developing yourself, then it's impossible for you to go try to speak to somebody, help them out, because you've never done it before, you know? And a lot of times that's when we feel like, man, I can't go talk to somebody. I can't go try to help them out. And I think we all can do it in some type of form or fashion, you know? So, yeah, man.
Sometimes that gift itself is the motivation, right? Aretha Franklin, Bobby Bland, Johnny Taylor, they never sat on my couch and talked to me, but through their gift,
yeah,
I've been motivated. I don't know I exist, right? But through their gift, two of them are dead, not even living no more. Three of them, but still to this day, through their gift, I get inspired, right? Or I get to set a certain mood for inspiration through their gift. You mentioned certain doors and opportunities that shouldn't have been open for you, and you attributed it to your faith, which is great. You attribute it to that, but even your faith tells you your action, right? Your action, that hard work towards whatever, that activates those opportunities, right? The root word is action, activate, right? You talked about what was the eggs and butter in that cake. Your hard work was putting action behind it, because the eggs and butter and all that can sit in the refrigerator, and the flour can sit in the cupboard till you actually get it, right? Mix it together. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in the oven. You know, they're just inanimate objects sitting there, right? We have to do something with it. So those opportunities that are out there, they're out there for us. We have to make them open. And I always stress that to people. I want people to be aware of how important they are. I don't think anything happens by chance necessarily. I think once you start to pray about something and manifest it, I think the universe does its part. Now you got to do your part to get there, right? Now what happens along the way a lot of times is the first chance we meet some opposition, the first instance we meet opposition, we get afraid, we get scared, and we turn back, and we don't keep pursuing that. Like you said, you know, it looked crazy. Some people might have thought you were crazy, but it didn't affect you, right? You kept going. You said the negotiation had to happen with the brain. it's easy to negotiate with the brain when you give it only one option. If the brain thinks this all I got and we just got to survive, you and the brain to get on one accord real quick. You back yourself in the corner and it's almost life or death. It ain't got, you ain't got to negotiate much with it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to tell you we got to live. Our boy E.T., his most famous video is the one about when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, right? I don't know if many of you have been close to drowning before. I have, because we learned how to swim when we were younger. But if you ever been close to drowning, right? I don't care if you're a member of the KKK and you drowning, you don't care what color hand come down there and get you out of it. Your brain ain't negotiating with you at that point. Everything about you want to breathe, right? You just want to get out this water so I can get some air. Not even get out the water. You don't even care if you're out the water or not. You want your head to break water so you can breathe. That's it. Don't nothing else matter. I would like to encourage people, because one of my problems. I do music, right? And I do poetry, and I write. I can write just about anything. That's my gift. It's one of my gifts. Is to write. For the longest, I wouldn't let anybody know about my music. Not many know about my poetry writing, because I was so worried about what people would think. So instead of just doing it, right? Because I wanted people to understand that's kind of insane, because a lot of people won't understand your journey. They won't understand the work you're putting in, right? We didn't understand Edgar's work ethic at the time. Now, later on, once he got into college and I would talk to him and see him, and then I, benefit of hindsight, I put two and two together. Okay, this is why he was, I went on his recruiting trips with him, right? I started to understand then that's why he was going so hard over the summer. Now we're going on recruiting trips. You know what I'm saying? And these people looking at him a certain type of way that none of us, and I say none of us, if somebody else said, they probably lying. Maybe one or two coaches, maybe. But none of us thought at that time Edgar was going to the league or had a shot. Once he got into college, I started believing then, because I know him, and I know I could tell him back in the day, hey man, you look like you're getting smaller today. I don't care if we was in the middle of the mall. If I tell that dude it looked like he getting small, he'll give me 20 to 50 push-ups right there on the spot. Just right here, look me in my eyes and he'll say, what? Push-ups. And then he'll look at himself. You know what I'm saying? He was just that tuned into it right now. And I knew then that nothing was going to be able to really stop him, right? It's a quote. It says, it's okay to stumble and fall when fighting hard for your purpose, but it's unacceptable to stop fighting because, it's not okay to fall on purpose because the fight gets hard. It's okay to stumble and fall while you're fighting hard towards your purpose. It's not okay to fall on purpose because the fight gets hard. Edgar told you earlier that sometimes you're going to be doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and you still ain't going to get the results you wanted, right? You're going to be working your butt off, and it's not going to happen for you. The mind trick is to not confuse that with a failure. In my mind, if you're going 100%, you're putting your effort in and you fighting towards something, there's no such thing as a complete failure. Now, it's almost like taking a test, right? A big entry exam or something. If you want to get into law school, you want to get into this big school of business, right? Dental school. You take this test and you come up short. Usually, you didn't fail that whole test. You failed a part, right? So if you put in your effort for it, maybe I passed level 1 through 4. I only failed level 5, but I found something out in the middle of it that's going to help me pass level 5 when I go back, right? If you tell yourself in your mind, I failed though, instead of, okay, I see what I did. I see what I'm going to have to do this time. All right, I got it. That's big, right? Because that one little slip up can stop you, can derail your whole path if you let yourself believe you failed. instead of seeing where did I go. Coach Barton used to always say, if you mess up going 100 miles per hour, I will not be upset with you. Right? If you give me effort, you're going 100 miles per hour, I won't be upset. Edgar, how many times have you, when you're in the league, you running down, you see the wedge, you don't know what a ball is, but you saying, I'm gonna blow this up, right? Or regular play, I'm about to blow this up. And you run through it and make the play, right? You didn't even know that it was there, but you said, hey, I'm finna go all out. I'm finna get this effort. I'm gonna blow through this, and you make it. Now, sometimes you don't, but it's still disruptive. Sometimes your job ain't actually to make the tackle. We getting into sports now. Sometimes your job is to set the edge. So I need you to bounce the running back in, or bounce whoever back in, and now your pursuit coming is gonna take care of it, right? You may fail. Let's say the running back run on out there, he breaks your tackle, but he cuts inside and somebody else hits him. You can fool yourself and say, man, I missed the tackle. Or you can say, I set the edge. That's what was supposed to happen the whole time. I found out something. You know what I'm saying? I found out that every time I come out here and I attack this shoulder, the back gonna always bounce back in. It's all about what you're telling yourself in your mind. But definitely know that everyone won't understand it, and it won't always be easy. It's not always be worth it. You always getting molded through those adverse moments, right? On the way to your purpose, you're always getting molded. You're always getting prepared for an end game. And then if you're a person like I am, if you're ambitious, because most people are, you might not know it, but most people are, your spirit always wants to evolve, then there is no end game. It's always preparing you for that next step. It's just levels. I don't think any of us will ever be comfortable, even in a financial sense. Elon Musk and Bezos, they exist. They're billionaires, multi-billionaires, right? They still getting money every day. So I find it hard to fathom ever being able to sit down and say, hey, man, you know, I'm straight. My spirit ain't gonna let me. I know it won't. So, man, once you find it, once you focus in on it, the next thing is acting on it, creating that action. Keep that action going. That action will always activate more opportunity. Don't be discouraged because other people don't see it, right? Every single thing that we look at was once the vision, right? Even this bottle, the people used to just drink out of streams, right? And then you saw on Westerns, they have canteens. Somebody said, hey, we can make a plastic bottle to hold water in. That was a vision. Everybody probably thought he was an idiot, right? We used to talk on the phones you had with the dial wheel on it. Remember that? Right? Then all of a sudden we was talking on cell phone. Me and Edgar doing a whole podcast. That was a vision. That didn't exist at one time. Through a Zoom call, right? Where we can look at each other, talk, record it, and get this out to thousands of people. It used to be a vision. That's all it was. Somebody, when the first man said, I'm gonna make a laptop and we're gonna make webcams and USB microphones, somebody thought they was crazy. Didn't understand it. I guarantee you they had to keep going, had to keep pushing, keep putting action behind their purpose. They had to be focused on it. All of this stuff, the way you build a house, the makeup of this computer, this microphone, there's some specs written down on it to a T. It's written. So they focused in on it, and they just constantly making it better now. Keeps getting better. A new cell phone coming out every month, right? On an iPhone notes, they on some other, they on a Pixel, and they got folding phones and all kind of stuff now. TVs that roll up. Everything's constantly evolving around us. If we can fix our mind to constantly evolve ourselves with our purpose, right? That's fair to us. It's unfair for you not to do it. So, man, don't worry about everybody else. Don't swaddle yourself, right? Don't hold yourself back because you're worried about what other people think. Some of us are whales. We'll never, ever fit in the fish tank comfortably. Never. It won't happen. You keep trying to fold yourself up because you're afraid to fit in that fish tank. You'll never be comfortable. You're gonna always, your spirit, you'll die with your spirit wanting to do something else, and you just never let it do it. right? So find that, whatever that is. Again, most of us know it. And man, go for it. And it will make room for you. Other people will be inspired by it, whether it's by your journey, whether it's by, if it's fitness, whether it's by how your body looks, whether it's by what you say, how you carry yourself. Your gift will inspire other people, right? So use it. Don't let nothing deter you from using it, man. You can do it. Before you start, Edgar, you mentioned something. You mentioned something about people trying to be other people. I think it'd be a good time for you to lead off with your Halloween analogy, right? That we kind of talked about before we start recording. I don't want to steal that juice.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So today is actually Halloween. So when y'all get this episode, it'll be a week after Halloween or 2 weeks after or whatever. But today is actually Halloween. So man, I always enjoy, seeing people put these different costumes on because I feel like now, well, what I have been seeing is that people have really been going above and beyond these last couple of years on costumes, from the makeup to the wardrobe to the hair. Um, it's crazy to see how much you can do and how talented people are, that can actually, do the makeup for you to help you out with the costume. But you're doing it to be somebody else, right? Like it's that one day out of the year, as far as on the calendar as a holiday, if you call it a holiday, where you're supposed to dress up and be like someone else, and it's I look at the energies and the efforts that people put into that, and it just boggles me, and it's crazy that we can put those energy and efforts into a costume and being someone else, and we abandon ourselves when it comes to doing it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about it. You can't give yourself the excuse that you can't do it. Cause like we doing, like you actually, if you're dressing up for Halloween, like you're actually doing it. Now, some people go a little bit crazy above and beyond, but that right there should show us that if I take all the time to dress up like this superhero or this actor or this historian, um, man, why would I not just take the time to work on myself from an internal standpoint? Because here's the thing, all this stuff from an external that you putting on gonna get taken off. That wig that you got on got to come off. That makeup gonna have to come off. You know what I'm saying? That wardrobe that you got on gonna have to come off. It's really difficult to take off what your wardrobe is inside. Like who you are as your character, like that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, like my point with all that is the same amount of efforts that we put into Halloween and being other individuals. And it's cool, man. It's cool. I've actually heard of some pretty damn cool Halloween parties too that people be telling me about, man. I got a couple of partners, bro. They be dressed up. They be a clown. But take that same energy and put it to working on yourself. And this is what I'll say as we talk about um, just pushing yourself and inspiring to be more and evolving, working into being a better person, because we all are on a journey of doing that, right? Being better and pouring into people and helping people with them and their lives. And you always hear people talk about, I took a shortcut, and at times, rightfully so. You get in your car, you can take a shortcut to get to a destination. Um, I've heard at times when people have built things up from a career standpoint, you know what I'm saying? They probably have taken a couple of shortcuts to help them get to where they had needed to get to. But their foundation was hard work. But I'll say this though, as you on this journey and you're doing what you're doing, this is also the other thing I've started to learn, man. Don't take a shortcut on your character. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take a shortcut on your character and just how you do people, man, and how you treat people and how you engage and talk with people. Because even in this day and age, that right there goes a long way, man, in character. And I think a lot of times we talk to our kids about, what they should be rather than who they should be. You know what I'm saying? Rather who they should be. And that's important. And I have found that throughout my life, because there has been some times I haven't displayed the best part of my character. And I'm human, you know, and it's through that, there's probably some things that got shut down and need to get shut down based off of my display with my character. There was probably some opportunities that I was looking for down the road that was right in front of me, but based off how I was acting at that moment in time, that person or whatever that exactly was fled away from me due to my character. You know what I'm saying? Now I think about things that's happened for me now. When I've heard people actually speak about like the relationship that we have and the work side of it. And I, you know, they shared just, hey man, like, you know, I found out you played ball, but like, I actually, like for who you was, that's what really got me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that we should consciously be aware of, is just don't take a shortcut on your character, man. Because that right there is another part of your foundation, your character and who you are, how you treat people, how you handle people, man, how you engage with people. And sometimes that is very difficult because people gonna get on your damn nerves. Gonna piss you like they are, bro. They really are. You know what I'm saying? So I know I done got on somebody's nerves right now. I know I have a lot, but as much as you can think about it and remember it, just ask yourself the question, what's the impression I want to leave on people when I'm dealing with them? Because people a lot of times they're going to remember you for what you said to them. They're going to remember you for how you said it to them. You know what I'm saying? And how you dealt with them, how you handle them, man. And that's, I only speak from a place of experience. It's the people that I still stay in contact with, that I played in the league with, are all man of character. You know what I'm saying? We talk, we have good conversations. Because we all in different seasons of life. Some of my coaches, they now retired. You know, they hanging out with their kids, their family. Some of my partners that's now retired, they doing other different things in life. But though, the man and who they are for their character, that's the thing that's kept these relationships very solid with each other. Because if the character didn't exist, if the character wasn't right, it wouldn't even really be no conversation with us at all. You know, so don't take a shortcut on your character, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Weezy, don't do it.
Yeah. And to tie it into from a purpose standpoint, it's the exact same thing, right? It's like Halloween every single day. When you're trying to move on everybody else's purpose or what somebody else told you your purpose is, right? You dressing up in costume every single day, trying to be something else that you're not, right? You know what I'm saying? Every single day, instead of just being you, like Edgar said, putting that effort into your own purpose, right? That effort that you put into making those costumes look so real. So we all do it, right? We'll be running around here, you know, being something totally different. Like Edgar said, portraying a different character every day, except instead of our own, right? Moving on somebody else's purpose, doing something that's making somebody else happy. Just because enough people told us, hey man, I think you ought to be doing this instead of that, right? So you abandon your character, your purpose, you abandon your life to go play this role. And it's a very uncomfortable, crazy feeling, right? Because once everything stops, or once those people are away and you all alone, and what the blues singers call the wee hours of the night, right? And you sitting there with self, and now self saying, hey man, what about me? You know what I'm saying? When I'm gonna get to play? You know, I can't just go along with this forever, right? Or you get in a bind, some adversity hits, and those people don't have your back like you thought they did, or they're not as grateful for you doing whatever you were doing for them as you thought they were, right? And then you realize that they, quote unquote, the days out there would have had something to say either way, right? Whether you failed at it or you went on to be great at it, right? If you fail, they'll say, I knew he wasn't going to make it in that. If you do great at it, guess what they're going to say? I knew he was going to do great at that. Some people gonna say he all right. All right. So one thing about it, man, you gotta understand that it's all necessary. If there's somebody out there saying something good about you, there has to be, just by the laws of nature, by the laws of physics, there has to be somebody out there saying something bad about you. Both gotta exist. Good can't exist without bad, bad can't exist without good. Light versus dark, whatever analogy, whatever objects you want to put against each other, it has to exist, right? So learn to use it. Use for motivation. I learned to block it out. When you was playing ball, imagine you had a defensive assignment, right? And you going in to make the tackle. It's you and the man, right? You going in to make the tackle. But you stop to address every single person that's saying something bad about your team or you was in the stands. 70,000 people in the stand. You think you'll make the tackle? I don't. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't think you got enough time in the day to address all those people individually. You couldn't even hear them because you was focused. Focus. So back to the top. Write it down. Get focused on your one arrow. Writing it down helps you to focus on it. Right? Treat it like that grocery list. If I go in the grocery store with my list written down, I'm be in and out. I'm focused on just that, just what I came to get. Not all these distractions that are around. All the people talking. Hey, come do this. Hey, come do that. Let's do this, do that. Some of us is good. Some of us are good at multiple things. Pick one.
Yeah.
Right? Country Wayne, perfect example. I like to watch Country Wayne. All right, Country Wayne is created. We got Buddy, we got Drip, we got Country Wayne playing himself. He's got other characters that are in now, but Country Wayne started out just doing these YouTube and Facebook videos, comedy skits. Now he has spinoffs based off these different characters. So where the one named Drip has a whole album out now, right? And then he's also brought his kids in and other characters that have spinoffs to where he's putting out 2 to 3 new videos every day, getting millions of views, making all kind of money off of it, based off his gift, which was making people laugh. He'll tell you he tried other stuff. He tried to be a D-boy. He owned clubs, right? He thought he was going to be a rapper, right? He moved on his gift. He owns all this stuff. He got his own restaurants, clubs, real estate, whatever. And that rapper thing that he wanted to do, that's why he just put out an album through a character he made for making people laugh. So he moved on the gift. Like Edgar said earlier, all that extra stuff, Whataburger serving chili cheese fries, that's extra because I got the people coming here now. Since we got them here, now we can experiment a little bit. Let's throw this on the menu. Right, but what they coming to pay for, the meat and potato, the burger. That's why it's in the name, Whataburger. It ain't what a chili cheese fry. It's Whataburger, right? Yeah. You Edgar Jones. You ain't Courtney Anderson, right? I'm Courtney. You know what I'm saying? We all individuals. The universe, God gave us to be. He ain't give it to nobody else. I don't care if you're an identical twin. Ain't Willis ain't willing, ain't winners ain't winning. Right? Same face and all that. But other than that, they got their own personality, they got their own jobs, they got their own everything. So why would you want to get that away and try to be somebody else? Kind of insane. The demon of comparison is one reason, and now it's at an all-time high. Right? We get to watch these people's highlight reels. Edgar's brother playing football right now. We'll probably all get together and collab on him a highlight reel, right, with his best plays. All you see is his best plays. That's it. You won't see the bad ones, the dog days. That's kind of what social media is, right? You get on Instagram, get on Facebook, people going to give you a highlight reel. And you living in your real life, play by play, knowing that, hey, man, sometimes I ain't always happy like that. What I'm doing wrong, right? I don't always get to go on vacation. I don't always get to go to the mall and spend a couple racks. I don't get to do this. I don't get to do that because you're looking at their highlight reel. That makes you want to go be these other people. Maybe I need to abandon my purpose, right? Now knowing maybe you're looking at somebody in point Z. You at point F. Just got to keep on going a little bit. You'll be there too. But if you start getting into that comparison thing, you abandon your purpose to go do that, and then you fail at that. Right now, you're creating all this conflict in your mind. That's where the depression starts setting in. That's where disappointment comes from, because you're setting yourself up for it. So focus in on you. Focus in on yours. Stop going through Halloween on a daily basis, right? Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stumble. You're going to fall. No such thing as a complete failure when you're going 100% and you're going all out behind it. Find your lesson in that small failure, right? And then complete it. And then it's behind you. Dr. Hayes was on a few weeks ago. Dr. Hayes told y'all he failed getting into dental school twice before he actually got in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Coupled with losing his mother and getting his daughter in the same year. So, it ain't always fairy tale-ish, right? It ain't always happily ever after. That's just a good way to end the movie, right? Ain't no such thing. You know what I'm saying? Edgar can tell you from experience. Edgar Jones was picked on when he was younger. He learned how to work hard. He grew. He made it to the NFL. And he lived happily ever after. NFL would be a perfect way to end it, right? No. No. It's a lot more with that story. You know what I'm saying? It don't happen like that. Don't fool yourself into thinking it happened like that. There will be more work, but in the day to be worth it, you keep on moving on your purpose. You keep being you. Keep building your character. That's all I got, man. I digress.
Shit, that's all I got too, man. That's all I got too. It's yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for checking this out. We appreciate y'all as always. Hopefully y'all was able to take something from this. But we looking forward to giving y'all more content and trying to continue for us all to evolve, because we all doing it.
Yes, sir.
We all doing it, man. So don't take a shortcut on your character, man. Continue to keep and what can you put on your menu? What do you have already that somebody will be willing to pay you for? And they could be able to really change your life, man, based on something that you do well. So it's the L.I.T Code.
We out.
We out.